Hey, good morning, everyone. Can you confirm audible or not? So today's our session, which is related to how to write the test cases or functional tests or unit tests for my React application as well as Angular application. Today, just we can see, okay, React, and tomorrow we can see like a Angular. Okay, 1 hour session we can take it. So let's start with the React. So in React, you have some functionality implemented. You implemented some functionality. For that particular functionality, just you want to write some functional tests or unit tests. Then how you can, what kind of setup is required, how we can write it, that is our requirement. Okay. For example, small requirement you can take it. Okay, if I click on the button, just I want to increment the count. So that functionality I want to test it. First of all, you have to complete your functionality, actual functionality, and then that functionality you have to test from developer side or not. For that purpose, in your React application, there has some libraries you have to load. The first one is like to write your functional tests. We have one library, JavaScript library is there, Jest is the one. The next one is like specific to React components. If you want to test, we have one of the library called as a RTL, React Testing Library, okay, which contains multiple libraries. Just you can say a terminology wise, a common name is like RTL, React Testing Library. Okay, the React testing libraries, there is multiple libraries or there, we'll say. First of all, let's go with Jest. What is this Jest? It is not like only for React, it is for, okay, any JavaScript related code. If you want to test, you can go with this Jest library. So how you can use this Jest library, do you know that? First of all, in your mission, if the Jest is not there, okay, you can install it first in your not mission, in your application. No need to install at mission level. Okay, I want to test my application, that is the reason. Just you need to install one, okay, library called as a Jest. First you have to create React application. Once you have the React application, I want to install one of the library called as Jest. One of the library called as a Jest. Now can anyone tell me, this library you want me to install in your application as like a dev dependency or like normal dependency? Dev or normal? As like a dev dependency you can install. Why? Because see, you have an application, your testing and everything should done before move the code to the production or not. So the testing with okay, just or manual testing or automation testing, whatever it may be, you have to complete, okay, before move the code to the production or not. Yes or no? So that this just not required in the production. Already we tested that code, everything is okay. That the reason, okay, just we need to make this one is like a, make this one is like a dev dependency. Automation tests we are going to run any environment, is either it's like a test to stage, okay, production. Why? Because in the production today we deployed some code in the production. My production is working or not working, you have to test it or not. Automation tests are like something different. We are going to pointing to every environment, we are going to test it. But this writing the tests and everything, whenever the functionality you completed, okay, parallelly you have to complete. After functionality completed, you tested, okay, you have to write some, okay, functional test cases. For that purpose we need like a Just. Is like a dev dependency or normal dependency, means dev dependency. Why? Because in the development time only we are using this Just. Once in my development time everything is okay, then we move the code to the production. Again, no need to test the test case and everything in the production. So the Just is always like a dev dependency. Now tell me, if you install Just, what kind of functionality it is going to handle? Okay, just it's like a simple JavaScript testing framework. Okay, it's a JavaScript testing library, you can say. It is like a, simply you can say like a test runner. What is this test runner? Okay, test runner is nothing but in the name itself, running the tests. Okay, if you want to run the tests, first of all, okay, you have to find the test or not. Find the tests, yes or no? Once you find the test, the next one is like what? You have to validate or run. Okay, validate. Okay, you can run the tests, and finally you have to give some result or not. Result or not. See, these three operations who can do? My Just can do it. Okay, it's a normal test runner. Whenever you run Just, first of all in your application it check, find all the tests. How many tests you written in your application, it find all the tests, and run those tests, once you run that. Okay, you can see the result, either test is like pass or fail. Okay, you can see the result or not. So whenever you run Just in your application, okay, it is a test runner. It find all the tests in your application and run it and validate it, and give the result or not. Validate and provide the result or not. Validate and give the result or not. Yes or no? Understood, everyone? So in your mission, this Just is not there, then you can install npm install Just as like a dev dependency. Okay, that is the first thing, and remaining all things Just will take care. Just will take care. Now my question is, whenever you run the Just, these operations it is going to take care, right? These operations it is going to take care, right? Now tell me, find the tests. How we can find, in your application, how it is going to find the test? This is the normal file, this is the test file. How my Just recognized? How my Just recognized this is like a test file or this is like a normal functionality related file? How it is going to find the tests? It's only run the tests, not like normal JavaScript files or JSX file. Only run the tests only. How it is going to find this is like a normal file or a test file? Anyone knows? Very simple. If my file extension is like either test.js or either spec.js or either the JS file inside one of the folder called as a underscore underscore tests folder. See, if the file extension is like a test.js, it is recognized like a test file. If the file extension is like a spec.js, it is recognized like a test file. If the folder name is like underscore underscore tests underscore underscore, in the folder whatever the JavaScript file, no need to mention test.js or spec.js, whatever the files JavaScript files you written in the underscore underscore tests underscore underscore, it is simply recognized those files as like a test files. Once it is recognized those files, it run that one and check whether it is like a pass or fail, and finally submit the result. Now this is Just, this is about Just. It is not specific to React, it is for any JavaScript related libraries or frameworks. This is not specific to React. Now specific to React, I want to test it. For that purpose, we have React testing libraries are there. We have some React testing libraries are there. Okay, this one, okay, React testing library. Okay, this one used for what? In the React, if you want to prepare some content or templates, then you can go with the components or not. Okay, now this one is going to provide you something like, okay, this one is going to provide you something like, okay, component testing purpose. It is going to give the component testing purpose. Okay, virtual DOM. Okay, whatever the component is rendered, that content if you want to access. Okay, it is going to give like some predefined functions. For that purpose, we are going to use like a testing library. It is going to provide you the virtual DOM. Provides, if you know the React virtual DOM. Okay, it provides the virtual DOM. Once the DOM is available, it is pointing. We can pointing to one element. That element reference, once you get it, that element contains what? Okay, expecting what? Okay, you can test it or not. Yes or no? For that purpose, it's specific to React. Okay, which library? React testing library. It is not a name. Okay, it's not like a library name. It is like a generic name. Okay, what are the libraries come under React testing libraries means? Okay, these are the libraries you have to install to work with React testing library. Okay, that means to work to test your React components. The first one is like @testing. Okay, library just DOM. This is one library. The next one is like @testing library, testing library React. Testing library React, you can say. Okay, remaining all are like user events, something like this we have, you can mention. Most of the times we are using testing library. Okay, these libraries you can install. These libraries you can install. So how you install, what kind of setup is required, we'll see that one. Okay, so two things. If you want to test your React application, if anybody asks, hey, did you write the test cases? Yes, I written. Okay, by using just with RTL, you can say. Okay, just with RTL. Okay, if it is like a React application, you have to tell like that. Okay, why we go for Jest? Jest is not only for only React, it's like a JavaScript test runner. What kind of functionality it's going to handle means find the test, run the test, validate, and give the result. RTL is specific to React. In the React, I written some components. I want to refer. I want to refer those component elements and everything. For that purpose, React testing library I'm using. React testing library. Okay, what kind of libraries you need to install means testing library React, DOM testing library React, just DOM React, and user event. That kind of libraries you can install. Again, these all libraries you can install as like a dev dependencies. Why? Because testing has to be done in the development mode, not in the production. Agreed? Come on. So two types of tests most of the times we are going to write. Last session we discussed about automation. Automation tests we are going to write. Automation or end-to-end tests we can write frequently. The next one is like, okay, developer testing. Okay, just functional tests or unit tests we are going to write. These two types of tests most of the times in your applications we can write it. Understood? To run, okay, you said like this is the one, right? If you want to run it, how you can run? If you want to run it, how we can run in the package.json? Okay, your JavaScript file, just you have to run it. If you run the just.js file, okay, it is going to find the tests, run it, validate it, and give the result. Okay, where my just file you can see in the node modules, right? So that, okay, how you can run the one JavaScript file by using node or nodemon. Okay, that particular file you can point out. Okay, node just.js, like this, simply you can run it. So for good. Okay, there has some properties also you can pass it. Okay, one is like watch, you can pass. Another one is like, okay, coverage you can pass. Coverage pass. Okay, watch is nothing and start test runs. For that purpose, what we are going to do? Okay, for every change, it is going to watch and it is going to rerun again. If you want to see the coverage, how many lines of code is there? Okay, how many lines you covered? How many lines to be covered? Like this, if you want to check, okay, just.js only, you have to pass some properties from parameters you have to pass to that particular command. Agreed? Okay, now tell me, most of the times, okay, in test cases in your application, what kind of functionality we are going to write that? What kind of functionality we are going to write the tests most of the times? Okay, nowadays my test is like very simple. If you give the component to the, okay, chat GPT, directly you can get that. Directly you can get the test. Okay, no need to spend more time also. Come on, what kind of tests most of the times we are going to write? I have one component is there only static content. Static content possibilities. Next one is what? Can anyone? Static means another one is like
Yeah,
dynamic.
Ajax.
The data which is coming from outside, like a props also, right? The next one is like if I click on the button, I want to perform some operations, events, right? The next one is like a functions also, execute the functions. The next one is like okay, endpoints, right? API calls or not. Agreed. Most of the times these things only, right? You can see in your applications. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Agreed. Okay, then. The next one is like some of the terminologies. Terminology. One is like you can most of the times you can see, okay, you can use this kind of terminologies. One is like test shoots. Okay, this is not only for React, any application. Tests. The next one is like it. The next one is like test. The next one is like describe. Okay, these terminologies we are going to use while writing the tests. What is test suite, test, it, test? We'll see that one. Okay, you only can answer this. What is test suite and what is test? What is the difference? What is it to test, describe all these things? Agreed, everyone? So just I want to create one React application. I want to test one component in our React application using just with RTL. For that purpose, what kind of setup is required? Just you can see that. Okay, shall we create one React application simply?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go to the workshop folder. Go to desktop, workshop, workshop folder. Let me create one application, React application. Tomorrow, Angular. Not open. Yeah. So create React app. Actually, this is like deprecated one. Can we use npx create next app? Okay, my just with the RTL. Yeah, just with RTL. If it is like Next.js, you have to do some configuration. We'll do that. TypeScript not required for me. Okay, just I'm creating like Next.js. Why I prefer like Next.js means, okay, if you see our React official website, the create React app command is like deprecated. If you go to the learn React, if you go to installation one, okay, if you observe here, create React app. How many ways we can create React app? Say create React app. Okay, they only suggested some of the libraries, okay, some of the commands. One is like Next.js. They ask, okay, like React framework you can create by using Next.js. Okay, see this npx create next app latest. Another one is like React router also. By using this React router command also, create React router command also, we can create our React application. Another one is for native applications. It's a kind of Android or web or iOS, right ones. Okay, built for any platform, then you can go with the Expo. Okay, by using this you can get the Expo application. Okay, just for mobile applications most of the times we are going to use. Okay, suggested. Create React app is like deprecated. Otherwise, you can use like void command also. Okay, going on. Just wait. Okay, meanwhile, okay, just you can use Next.js with just there has some libraries, right? Okay, I mean, some setup is required. See this. How to set up just with Next.js. Okay, you can do quick start, create next tab. Just I'm doing. Okay, the next one is like okay, create next app latest example with just if you give this one, okay, they are going to give the configuration, okay, by default. If you want like a manual setup, okay, you can do this. npm install. I want to do like what? Just the next one is like just environment JS DOM. The next one is like testing library React, testing library DOM, testing library just DOM. Okay, these are the libraries are there. Okay, these libraries you can install it. Okay, once you did that one, okay, there has some configuration is required. Okay, and the just configure.ts, just you can add this file. You can add this JavaScript file. Okay, once it is done, okay, this is if you option out of the Next.js compiler, then that time this is, I think this is not required for us. Okay, once it is done, you can write our test cases. Okay, if you want to run this one, npm run test just okay, test watch, something like this you can do. Okay, let's do it. Okay, you can see. First of all, if you want to run this one, you can run directly, you can get the setup. Okay, if it is like a manual setup, which is like Next.js 12, okay, then you can follow this. Let me install this library first. Okay, ts is not required for us. So npm install just environment JS down. Okay, React DOM testing library. Okay, TS node. Just these are not required. Up to here you can install it. Up to here you can install it. So let me go to our folder, open folder. Go to workshop. In the workshop where we are going to use my just RTL app select folder. Okay, my Next.js application created. This is my package.json. Okay, I want to add some dev dependencies. Okay, just you can do it. Okay, install it in the PowerShell and go with the command prompt. Just run it. Okay, once it is done, the next one is like just configuration file you have to create. So let me create just config.js. Okay, next config is there, just config is not there. So just dot config.js, just dot config.js. Just you can add it. Okay, the next one, set up just with the Babel. Okay, this is not required for us. The next configuration is okay. This is the one. Just setup.js. Okay, just setup.js. Just dot setup.js. Just dot setup.js. Just you can add this. Okay, two changes you made so far. The next one is like I want to add these two commands. Test to test watch. something like this. Go to the package.json. In the scripts section, you can add, okay, one more also you can add. Test coverage also you can add. This is the one. Okay. Test coverage, just hyphen coverage and watch. Okay, done. This setup is okay. Now the next one is like, just you can create one simple homo and you can test that component. You can test that component. Okay. Now let me run this application first. Okay, npm run dev. npm run dev. Close all. Let's go to the source. Okay, I want to test one simple component in the source. I want to create like welcome. One folder I created inside this one, welcome.js. React arrow functional component. Just okay. Now this welcome component, I want to load it in my base.js. Okay, hope everyone knows about the next.js, how handle routing. It's like a folder based routing. Okay, now I want to load welcome component. Load my welcome component. Now, whenever you run this one, localhost, okay, 3000, my component is like what? Welcome. Okay, I think it's compiling. Just wait. Okay, now see, this component is like, my component is like welcome, welcome. So it's like rendered or not. If you want to write the test case for this particular component, okay, first of all, my test, how my Jest can recognize if this is like a test or not. Three ways it can recognize. One is like the file whose extension is like test.js. Welcome dot. Okay, the file name can be anything. Welcome dot test.js. The extension either test.js, either spec.js, either underscore tests underscore folder. Any one of this one is like fine. Any one of this one is like fine. Okay, now come on. Which component do you want me to test? This welcome.js component I want to. Okay, in the welcome.js, welcome component is there. That one I want to test. So first of all, that component you can get it. Which component you want me to test? That component you can get it. In this component, if you observe, okay, some static text is there. That's it. The simple static text is there. Okay, that text is welcome or not, I want to check. That text is like welcome or not, I want to check. So the component, whenever it is like rendered, then only, right, whatever the component returns, that written content you can get it or not. So this welcome is like rendered in the next.js, so that see the welcome rendered in the browser or not. So that kind of, okay, the same way you have to render this component, then only the component content is available. That component content, that DOM, virtual DOM is available. If this component is not loaded, whatever it is going to return, how we can get it? When I can get the written value of the component, whenever the component is like rendered or not. So I want to render it. How we can render means, okay, whenever my component rendered, I want to get some of the DOM elements. For that purpose, already we have one of the library we already installed at the rate testing library. Okay, at the rate testing library, just DOM is there. Okay, if you come here, okay, just DOM, React, all these things there. Okay, so you can use this one, just DOM. Why loaded again? Just DOM already we configure, right? Yeah, so this is not required. Okay, this is not required. Just you can take this one. You can take this one. Okay, in this, which one we are going to use? Render. Which one we are going to use? Render, we can use it. So this is like a JS file. I have to test JSX. Okay, test.js file or not. I want to test here. Done. Now I want to render this particular component or not. Using which method? Render method I want to do it. So let's write the test now. Already we discussed about some of the terminologies, right? Describe. Okay, in the name itself, describe is nothing but what? Okay, you are writing something, you are writing some test cases for which component, welcome component or not. So just describe a few, okay, one statement, what you are going to write, which component you are like writing the test cases. So describe high level. Okay, so describe is the method. Describe is like a function which is like what, two parameters, your text and your callback function. So describe, okay, describe, okay, welcome component. Okay, to my welcome component I am writing the tests. So just describe like this. Okay, after that what do you want me to do? After that what do you want me to do? You can write your test. What do you want me to test? You can write your test. What do you want me to test? Inside my div, inside my div, welcome text is there or not there, I want to check it. For that purpose, okay, if you want to write the test cases, we have predefined functions over there. One is like it, another one is like a test. These two you can use it. So here I want to write a test case, whether it is like div contains welcome text or not. For that purpose, just we have the method called as a test or it also. Okay, check, check, okay, welcome text. Okay, what you want me to take? Okay, check text, welcome text or whatever it may be. Here anything you can write. The next one is like, the second one is like a callback function. See, describe high level welcome component, you are like checking like a text. Okay, you can check another thing, another thing, another thing, like this any number of test cases you can write it. Okay, now if you want to check the text, okay, the text is inside which component? Welcome component. So that welcome component has to be rendered. So how we can render it? Render is the method. Okay, which component you want me to render? My welcome component I want to render or not? My welcome component I want to render. Once my welcome component rendered, okay, now you have to check for which text. You have to check for which text. You have to check for, okay, in the div there has welcome text is there. That text I want to check it. For that purpose, whenever my component rendered, that component related elements, if you want to refer, we have one predefined member is there, screen, which is coming from testing library. By using this screen, you can refer the DOM elements. In the screen there has multiple predefined functions are there. If you want, last time we have text dot test dot something, okay, get by role. Next one is like get by test id. Same like this, here the screen has some of the methods. One is like get by role method is there. Another one is like get by label text, label text. The next one is like get by text, get by text. The next one is like get by, okay, test id, get by test id. Okay, like this different functions are there inside the screen to get the reference of your element. So you can take your welcome component, just you can write data, okay, test id equals to welcome. I added like test id. Now by using the test id I want to get the reference. So my screen has one of the method get by test id. What is my test id? What is my test id? Welcome is my test id. Welcome is my test id. Now you can get your element reference. my div reference. Once I have the div reference, okay, that div, I want to check the content is welcome or not. So how we can, I'm expecting, okay, my div reference text content to be what? Okay, my text content to be what? To be
Welcome.
VTS. Okay, this is like failure test only. Just you can write like this. Now I want to run this test or not. So how we can run it? Npm run test is the command. Npm run test is the command. Whenever you run npm run test, now internally which library loaded? My just loaded or not? My just loaded. Now check, is there any configuration is required or it is like what as expected. Okay, now it's like determining the tests. Okay, it is check for what? Welcome.test.js. See how my just find the test. The test whose extension is like test.js or spec.js or inside the underscore underscore tests underscore underscore folder or not. Any one of this one, fine, to determine the test. Now my welcome.test.js is running. My welcome.test.js is running. Okay, it is like a failed test. Okay, it is like a failed div.text content is not a function. Okay, that means it's like a javascript error. You can easily understand my div reference. Okay, my div reference not having the text content. Okay, my div reference text content is not a function is said. If div reference has text something, some methods you can find it. Text content to be okay. Yes. Now you not run in the watch mode. Now you can run in the watch mode. Npm run. Go to the package.json. Where is that? Test watch. Where is that? Control Z. Npm run test watch. Just wait. Now again it's like failed. What is this one? Now see this, it's like expected only. You are expecting what? Yes, but received what? Come on, received what? Welcome.
Welcome.
And the reason it's like failed or not. So okay, just if I go to my welcome.js, just I'm expecting like what? Okay, welcome text only. Now just save it. Whenever I do the save, now see it is automatically run, right? It is automatically run or not? Yes or no? So one test pass. Now see, test shoots are there, tests are there. Both are like one to one. What is the difference between test shoots and test? Now see, I have one div is there. Inside that one there is multiple. Inside that one there is multiple. One line or 2 lines or 20 lines. It's not a matter. Okay, so first of all, any component if you want to test, first that component is like loaded or not. Okay, first that component has to be rendered. When I can say this component loaded in my DOM, whenever this div loaded in the document, I can understand like what? Loaded in the DOM, I can understand like what? My component rendered or not. So the first test is like common. See, render correctly or not. Just you can write it. There has one more test. Okay, check the text in H1, for example. Just do slide change. Now go to welcome. Okay, this data test high level, I'm going to add it. This is the one. Okay, H1 contains this. Now go here. Okay, first render which component? Welcome component. Okay, screen get by role. Screen get by role. This is not required here. This one I needed here. This one I needed here. And this one I want here. Okay, now I have high level div reference, that div inside the document or not to be in the document. That is first thing. Okay, that div high level loaded or not, I want to check it. My div loaded means my component rendered. Now I want to test for H1. Screen get by role heading. Okay, level 1. Okay, just you can take like a heading. My heading reference, my heading text content, okay, to be welcome, I said, but my test is going to fail. Okay, but see here, test to test your difference. See, I'm not expecting expecting welcome, but actual received from the heading is what? Actually received from the heading is what? Sachin or not. So that, okay, I'm expecting like Sachin. Now, if you observe here, okay, it is like failed. Okay, what happened? Expect to be in the document is not a function. Okay, something wrong. Welcome get reference. Okay, expect my div reference to be in the document. Okay, one failed, one pass. To be in the document is not a function. Okay, that means this is not a function. Why it is not a function? Rendering, render a component, render a component. Now can you check it? My welcome.js, my data test ID is okay, right? Welcome render a component. Okay, data test ID is like welcome only, right? It's like welcome only. My expecting my div reference to be in the document. What's wrong with this? Okay, should not close that one. Check the test is like passed, render component is like failed. What is that? We recommend install the extension to run the just tests. What is that? But they only charge GPT people only run your test and fix it. Keep it. Okay. Now is test render welcome text inside the div. Render welcome text inside the div to be in the document. Welcome tag name to be div. Okay. H1 text component matches snapshot or okay. So you can delete these two, whatever we written. Okay. This is the one. Can I delete this one also? Okay. Just run. Okay. Two failed, one pass. Line number 19. Welcome text to be in the document to contains the element. Okay. Or you work with the DOM, right? So that okay, you have to restart it, and then it's going to work. Why? Because already we did that setup, right? Okay, this JS file you have to configure. Okay, this JS file you added, but you not mentioned here. You have to mention that one. Okay, that is missing. That there is. Now see, my test suits are how many? Test suits, so test so snapshots. Okay, tell me, test suits are how many more? Test suite is nothing but what? Test suite is nothing but what?
Uh,
Your test file. Test file. Tests are nothing but how many tests you written in the test.js. Can you check it? Okay, this is my welcome. One is like, okay, this test render welcome. Okay, the another one is like h1. Okay, the next one is like match with the snapshot, or to match snapshot. This is another one. Okay, three tests. Snapshot related. Snapshot is nothing but once it is painted, okay, both are like matching or not, it is going to check. Okay, your component rendering, whatever the content is like rendered in the browser, same kind of test it is going to do, like to match with the snapshot. Okay, here if you see, this is come under tests, and snapshot checking is come under 1.1 passed, right? One passable. This is like related to tests only, but it is like related to snapshot checking. Overall, there has three tests you written. Okay, which file that is test.js? That is nothing but to test to shoots, you can say terminology wise. Test to shoots. Okay. Now you written import just library just DOM, right? Here also you did it. Just setup.js you have to configure in the just configure.js. That one we missed. You have to do that one. Now if you come here, import. Okay, now see this in the just config.js. Okay, you have to mention in the setup file environment, setup files after env. In the just config.js, will you mention anywhere? Yeah, this is the one. Okay, already there, just you can uncomment it. Whenever you do the uncomment, you can go to welcome.test. This line is not required again and again. This line is not required. This line is not required. Understood? Got some idea right now how the just is going to work. Now coverage wise, okay, just a test with watch coverage. Npm run no test coverage. Now just what happened? Validation error, uh, configuration document. Validation error. Okay, the package download this. Why this is? It's a warning only. Okay. Import is not recognized as an internal or external command means it should be like where is that import is not a testing library, just up where you mentioned this testing library.
in welcome dot text, sir. Text.js.
You mention anything? Welcome to test.js, we remove.
No, that second import.
I think they are expecting this one as like ES6 below syntax. You can run a test. The root directory is set, right? What is that root directory? Just to configure the root directory in the same folder. Npm run desktop. No, option was not found. Directly can I use this?
Sir, setup.ts, ts should be JS, right?
You're right. Yes. Now it's okay. That file not recognized. Now it's okay, right? You're right. JS file. So now npm run test. Okay, how is it? Now it should show like one tabular format, how many statements covered, how many functions covered, that kind of yeah, like this you can see. Like this you can see the coverage report in the statement, branches, functions, and lines. So what is this one? We'll take in tomorrow's session. Okay, like this you can see the coverage. Most of the times in our applications they mention that, okay, they expecting like 80% coverage. Okay, something like that. Okay, you have to see this particular report. Okay, so up to configuration wise, are you okay? Okay, then tomorrow you can join 9. Okay, we can see the remaining cases like props, how we can test, and then Angular we can see. Okay,
Thank
tomorrow
you,
you
sir.
can take like 1.5 session, 1.5 hour. Okay, today just do this setup and create one Angular application also from your end. Let me create Angular application to go to the workshop. Okay, you know how to create the Angular application. Ng new Angular tests. Ng new. In your machine, Ng is not there. You have to install one of the CLI command at the rate Angular CLI. At the rate Angular CLI. That command you can install it. Okay. Once this application is ready, we can write some tests here also. Okay. So tomorrow you can join at 9. Okay then. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining.